My sweetheart. My sweet baby.
This is a full-service deal.
When it's time to start their heist, Robert, Theresa, and their daughter Old Dolio wait outside the post office. Sneaking inside, Old Dolio opens a safety deposit box and takes a big envelope from the box across from it. When she gives it back to her parents, they are irritated to see that there are simply money orders and no cash. They had to clean up the foam that constantly pours through the walls of their apartment building, which is adjacent to a bubble factory. They are always overdue on their rent, so they chose to stay away from their landlord. Then a neighbor who is pregnant offers to give them money in exchange for Old Dolio sitting in one of her classes.
I can pay $20. Thanks.
Old Dolio discovers the meaning of positive parenting, and this memory lingers with Old Dolio since she never felt being loved by her parents. That evening, Old Dolio showed Theresa a getaway trip that they won, but are unable to use it yet. And it will take two of them to New York City. Theresa is obviously not interested taking it as a mother-daughter holiday, despite Old Dolio's suggestion. Their landlord threatens to evict them the following day if they cannot come up with more than $1,500 in the next 2 weeks. They try another post office theft, but this time Old Dolio notices that a new camera has been installed. She then comes up with a plan where after a traveling round trip to New York, they will claim a lost luggage at an airport and receive money as reimbursement. They carry out their plan. They encounter turbulence on the flight to New York, so Old Dolio attempts to reassure herself by repeating to Robert the information she learned during the parenting class. But he ignores her. Then she asks if she was put on a cot or if she performed the breast crawl. On their way back, they acted like strangers, and Old Dolio is seated separate from her parents. Melanie, a young woman, is seated next to Robert and Theresa. After striking up a conversation and sharing a few drinks, she hears Old Dolio's and their watches going off simultaneously, a signal to them that the bubbles next door are about to burst.
And then
Following the trip, Old Dolio goes to claim the missing luggage, while Melanie leaves to join Robert and Theresa.
They are, but if they are, your traveler's insurance covers you for up to $1,575.
How long does that usually take?
Oh, they're pretty quick.
At a bar, Old Dolio runs into her parents and tells Melanie who she is. Old Dolio shows dislike at Melanie's presence, and Melanie leaves to use the restroom. After finding out that Robert and Theresa were involved in a theft, she comes back to tell them about a heist they can pull off. Melanie says that because she works for a firm that provides the elderly and visually impaired with glasses, she can assist them in obtaining antiques to give as gifts and then sell them for a higher price than they are actually worth.
but if I did, I bet you that I would find mad antiques.
Melanie pretends that she was adopted by a British family and brings them to her client's house. They steal few of her antiques and hardly make any money on them. Melanie tries to escape after Robert and Theresa carry out their own plan rather than completing hers. But Old Dolio grabs her and unintentionally pulls off one of her stick-on nails. Melanie doesn't seem disturbed as Old Dolio begins to remove the remaining ones.
No, if we get caught, it'll be much worse for me because I'm Puerto Rican.
After that, they visit a hot tub retailer and make a down payment on a model that they intend to return for a refund. Melanie takes the three to a new target, an old guy who is dying alone. Since he knew Melanie was with her family, he personally requested that his glasses be sent. The old man, who is alone in his room, only asks that they create an atmosphere that gives the impression that the group is a family. They are too embarrassed to carry on after the old man dies. Old Dolio becomes agitated when he sees Robert and Theresa comforting Melanie when she begins to cry. The check for the luggage has already been mailed when Old Dolio returns home. Then she pretends to be a parent in another parenting class and felt uncomfortable, or maybe she is not just used to someone touching or caring for her. She again thought she has never felt that from her parents. Melanie is obviously turned off by Robert and Theresa's attempt to convince her to take a soak with them in the hot tub. Old Dolio returns just in time to witness Melanie walking out after feeling uneasy. Old Dolio pulls Theresa out, saying she never called her hon, and now she is calling Melanie as if she was their daughter. She offers to give her the entire check if Theresa will just say hon, but Theresa declines and tells her everything she never did for her, including saying honey, sweetheart, or baby, or joining her in pancake making. Melanie then makes the decision to bring Old Dolio along in order to get compensated for all of her hard work. After cashing out the check, they return to Melanie's apartment. Melanie compiles a list of everything Old Dolio's parents never did to her. She gives Old Dolio as many cutesy nicknames as she likes. Then she heads to the store to buy pancake mix so they can prepare breakfast together. After the shaking stops and they go outside to make sure they're okay, Old Dolio begins to insult Melanie in retaliation for the attention she received. Melanie is furious with what she told her, while Old Dolio is thrilled. Melanie takes into Old Dolio's pleading for forgiveness. She even crawls over to her and grants it. Robert and Theresa visits them in an attempt to get Old Dolio back. As an apology, they invite them for dinner and act as though it's Old Dolio's birthday. Robert told her that they want her back and that they never treated her like a child because they didn't think it was appropriate. Returning to Melanie's place, they bring Old Dolio a ton of toys as a gift for all the presents they never gave her. Even though Melanie is aware that they are both liars, Old Dolio interprets their gesture as genuine. Melanie did believe she's right when they discover the following morning that Robert and Theresa had robbed them overnight, removing all of Melanie's possessions, including the money, and leaving them with nothing but the toys. They visit the store in order to receive their refund, which comes to $525 in the end. This would have been Old Dolio's 3/4 share of the check. Melanie and Old Dolio get closer and eventually share a kiss. Want more queer content? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell.